every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Thank you for joining us on CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape, and our top stories tonight. Enugu State House of Assembly has commenced an impeachment process against State Governor Sullivan Chime. Also in this program, the Nigerian Union of Journalists has reminded governmental and non-governmental organizations of the need to respect freedom of the press. And oil marketers have assured Nigerians that the lingering fuel shortage across the country will soon be over. And outside Nigeria, authorities have identified the suspected gunmen who attacked an event in Dallas exhibit cut of the Prophet Muhammad. Thank you for being there tonight. We'll begin with the story of Enugu State House of Assembly, which has commenced an impeachment process against State Governor Sullivan Chime. The accusation levied against him by the lawmakers is high-handedness and corrupt enrichment. The state government has, however, dismissed the alleged plot to remove the governor. Spokesman of the governor, Chukwudi Chife, insists the Speaker, Eugene Iwodo, has been removed and a new speaker elected. The impeachment saga stemmed from reports that the governor has asked the State Assembly to approve the funds for a secretariat project, but he was turned down by the State Assembly. The unapproved 11 billion naira allegedly led to the power play between members of the House of Assembly and the state government. The governor then allegedly induced some members of the Assembly with some money to impeach the House Speaker, Eugene Iwodo. Now, the impeachment saga at the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed May 21 for hearing in the suit filed by 7 Ekiti state legislators elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, seeking to stop the impeachment move against Governor Ayofauci and his deputy, Kolapo Lushola. At the resumed hearing of the suit's plaintiff counsel, Ahmed Rajur, informed the court that the defendants had not filed any application as ordered by courts to show cause why the release the suit should not be granted. He also urged the courts to set aside all the actions of the APC lawmakers. But counsel to the defendant, Terence Vembe, challenged the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter. The trial judge, Justice Evochukwu, however, ordered the defendants to file their submission in writing and adjourn till May 21.
It has jurisdiction over it, and it's ordered addresses by all the council, and then it's given us a time frame. But meanwhile, the status quo remains, that nobody should do anything, and he admonished all the sides to maintain peace so that there will be no breakdown of law and order in Ekiti State. That is as a follow-up to his earlier order, which he made at the last adjourned date, that the status quo should be maintained.
We were supposed to be here and show cause why order suit ex parte should not be made against the defendants. In the first place, the whole writ issued is irregular on the face of it. As at the time the writ was issued, the leave of court was not sold and obtained as required by law. And under that circumstance, we are allowed to appear before the court and let the court know that the court does not have jurisdiction to do it. That is just what we did. But the court was a little bit under the weather. The judge is just recuperating, and counsel to the plaintiffs also sought further more time to be able to respond to our motion. So we'll come back on the 21st after filing everything and adopt.
And now the Nigeria Union of Journalists has organized a one-day career talks with selected school in Kaduna. The event, which has the theme "Let Journalism Fight Towards Better Reporting, Gender Equality and Media Safety," digital agent designed to encourage the students to see the profession as a worldwide one. Correspondent Amina Nebi has more. We'll bring you that report in a subsequent bulletin. A familiarization tool information minister Patricia Akwashika has commenced what looked like a farewell tour of parastatals in the ministry. The minister, who was appointed a cabinet member a few weeks ago, visited the headquarters of the News Agency of Nigeria and Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria on the first day of a three-day tour. A correspondent by CIA has made this report.
With barely few days till the current administration comes to an end, it is expected that all officials should be dotting the T's and crossing the I's in their handover notes. But the information minister is embarking on a familiarization tour of parastatals in the ministry. Akwashiki insists that the effort is not misplaced, as she has work to do until May 29.
We are very appreciative of what you are doing here, and mine is to encourage you to continue to do well, to support government wherever you can, and to improve yourselves, to compete in the global information technology or era. Now we are going to go digital. It's very important for you to reposition yourself to take part in the coming digitalization.
The visit was an opportunity for these news agencies to showcase their facilities and seek more funds.
It will encourage us to continue to do our best for the country. We believe that Nigerians deserve a greater and better FRCN, and that's what we are working to achieve.
It's pertinent to note that NAN has been able to increase its productivity from 30,000 stories in 2013 to 40,090 stories in 2014. We have also produced 4,311 photographs in 2014 as against 3,000 photographs in 2013.
Although these visits may be coming at a time many may consider inappropriate, the heads of government establishments insist that it could not have come at a better time. Basia Ye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Oil marketers have assured Nigerians that the lingering fuel shortage across the country will soon be over. Executive Secretary of Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Femi Olawari, made the assurance in Abuja after an extensive meeting between marketers and government officials led by the Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. He admitted that the scarcity was caused by the refusal of marketers to load the products due to non-payment of outstanding payments, but noted that now that funds have been released, fuel would be distributed nationwide.
You all recall that there were some issues about movement of product to the retail outlets. Following from the release of the last payment, 154.56, the owners of the trucks have agreed to allow their trucks to start loading. As we speak, they have been loading, and those of you that can contact your friends in Lagos, they will confirm that Lagos is getting better by the hour, and that because of the distance between Lagos and Abuja, the product mainly comes from Lagos. Because of the distance, it will take some time before Abuja gets to the normal position.
We really welcome the news that has been announced by the marketers, and we thank them and their discussions with the truck, those who move the product. On our own side, we are also we've discussed the issues they have on the table, and we are looking into them. Government is a continuum, and I think that you'll find that whatever the issues are, they will be resolved so that Nigerians will not suffer.
Governors of the All Progressives Congress are meeting with the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja on Tuesday. The meeting, it was gathered, will be the first to be attended by the governors jointly since the conduct of the March 28 presidential election in which Buhari won. One of the governors who spoke on the condition of not being identified with a correspondent in Abuja said the meeting would also be attended by all the APC governors-elect. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who said he was not aware of the meeting, however stated that it was possible. It was learned that the governors might demand that they be allowed to nominate those to be appointed ministers in their state. Apart from this, the governors are also expected to make their position known on which sons to be supported for the office of the Senate President. It was gathered that the governors felt that they should be allowed to present the next Senate President since they had not collectively got anything since the formation of the APC. The governors believe that they play a prominent role in the merger that led to the formation of the APC. The Abia State Governor-elect Okezie Ikpeazu has placed temporary ban on costly visit by his supporters. He said the ban would enable him to plan adequately for the task ahead. Ikpeazu, in a press statement personally signed by him, thanked Abia residents for voting him into power, but pleaded with those jostling to pay him costly visit to give him some breathing space so he could prepare for the job he was elected to do. It was reported that Ikpeazu's country home at Umuobiakwa in Obingwa has become a mecca of sorts since after the governorship election, as individuals and groups continue to pay visits to the governor-elect. Various entertainment groups and dancing troops have also been having a field day with free feeding, a daily routine for our visitors. And now the Senator-elect for Lagos West Senatorial District and Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts, Solomon Adiola, wants the incoming government and relevant financial and auditing regulatory bodies to appropriately sanction the auditing firm PricewaterhouseCoopers for misleading and deceiving the public. He specifically wants the firm suspended and prevented from further participation in similar exercise undertaken by the federal government. This, according to him, is because of the role the auditors played in the course of investigating the allegation of missing $20 billion NNPC fund. Speaking to journalists against the backdrop of revelations from the forensic audit report of the missing NNPC $20 billion and PricewaterhouseCoopers' position that it did not really audit NNPC account contrary to impression it created, the federal lawmaker said his committee knew what it was doing when it demanded that the report be made public, as there appears many shortcomings in the procedure for engaging PwC for the tax. He maintained that the House of Representatives has been vindicated on its alarm that an unprofessional work might have been done to deceive Nigerians on the allegation of missing billions of dollars. The senator-elect consequently called on the incoming federal government to investigate the PwC for its roles in the shady saga that has now unfolded and report them to such bodies as International Federation of Account and ICANN to face disciplinary actions. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We take a break now. Be back with more stories after this time out. You join us again.
Any tribe that rules has solid rules.
Rule number one, friends stay close. Friends in the tribe, stay closer. Feel me?
Rule number two, in the tribe, you always know what's up with Facebook, WhatsApp, Phoebe, and Twitter. Guess what? It's free.
Rule number 3, there are no rules with SMS. It's endless. Yes, boss.
Rule number 4, enjoy very long conversations with a special someone.
Enjoy endless connections to your friends with free calls, free WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, and BBM. You also enjoy up to 200% bonus on your recharges to call all networks. Migrate now by dialing *312# and start to live endless connections.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
This is CoreTV Primetime News live from our Lagos studios. If you just joined us, a quick reminder of our top stories. Enugu State House of Assembly has commenced an impeachment process against State Governor Sullivan Chime. The Nigeria Union of Journalists has reminded governmental and non-governmental organizations of the need to respect freedom of the press. Where marketers have assured Nigerians that the lingering fuel shortage across the country will soon be over. All our top stories can be found on our social media platforms like our Facebook page, is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News NG. And for live streaming, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space in news. As Nigeria gets set for the inauguration of the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola says law and order will play a critical role in the process of changing the nation for the better. Fashola emphasized this at the opening ceremony of the 32nd Synod of the Anglican Communion in Lagos. For his part, the Diocesan Bishop of Lagos, Adebola Adimo, expressed optimism that the coming Buhari administration will take Nigeria out of the woods. Our correspondent Abiola Aluwali's report is presented from our studios. Less than a month to the inauguration of President-elect Muhammadu Buhari, Nigerians across party divide have been speaking on their expectation from the incoming administration. Though the gathering is religious in nomenclature, there was also a platform to speak on the ingredients needed for the progress of the country. According to Governor Fashola, for Nigeria to move up the ladder in the Committee of Nations, premium must be placed on the enforcement of the rule of law.
For me, law and order is not just police and security agencies. It requires all of us to show leadership in the place where we are leaders, in our homes, in our churches, in our mosques.
While expressing optimism about the future of Nigeria, the Diocesan Bishop of Lagos, Adebola Adimowa, called on citizens to pray for Buhari administration in order to achieve desired change for the country.
Buhari is going to take us out of the woods. All this Boko Haram thing and poverty all over the place, unemployment, security, wahala. The man is up to the task.
As the clock ticks on the swearing-in of the Buhari-Osinbajo administration, the expectations of Nigerians, according to political watchers, is the fulfillment of the electioneering promises. Now, the Kaduna State chapter of the All Progressives Congress Transition Committee on Monday warned those it described as impersonators to henceforth desist from such acts or risk prosecution. The chairman of the committee, Balarabe Rawa, was quoted in a statement by Samuel Aruwan, the spokesman for the governor-elect Nasir El-Rufai, that some elements were allegedly defrauding the public using the committee as a launch pad. It was quoted to have warned that anyone found impersonating committee members or carrying out any illegal act in the name of the transition committee will be handed over to the police for prosecution. The General Overseer of Glory Restoration Church Ministry International, Ephraim Ifiono, has warned the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to be wary of false prophets and prophecies in order not to be misled. Ifeanyi also urged Buhari to dedicate himself to God and sound leadership qualities that will distinguish him. He gave the advice in Lagos during the inauguration of the Akeson Worship Center of the church. The cleric said the first thing that will make a leader succeed was dedication to God. Ifeanyi also urged other ministers of God in the country to remain firm and not allow the pursuit of material wealth influence them into giving false prophecies. Now, the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has granted a extradition order sought by Attorney General of the Federation against former Managing Director of Nigeria Security Mating and Printing Company, Hidaman Okoyeman. Okoyeman is wanted in the United Kingdom over his alleged role in the bribery scandal involving officials of the Central Bank of Nigeria, the NSMPC, and Security International of Australia. Justice Ebo Chukwu ordered that Okoyeman be extradited within 30 days to the United Kingdom for the trial. In his judgment on an application filed by the Attorney General, Justice Chukwu held that there is a valid treaty between Nigeria and the UK to make him grant the request. Justice Chukwu also held that all legal procedures were properly followed by the Attorney General with the placement of certified true copy of letter of indictments of the accused, as well as the extradition request from Britain. The court maintains that no Nigerian court will willingly surrender a citizen to any country for trial, but noted that Okoyeman is also a British citizen. As such, there is nothing wrong in his extradition. Away from that now, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has described the late chief imam of the Abuja National Mosque, Musa Muhammad, as a great scholar who worked for the unity of Nigeria throughout his public life. And a tribute to the late chief imam, the former vice president said the late Ustaz Musa Muhammad is known for devoting his messages to promoting peace, harmony, and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians of all faith and ethnicity. According to Atiku, the passion with which the late Musa devoted his energy to promoting a peace worthy of note and respect. The former vice president explained that the late chief imam of the National Mosque was a true face of Islam and his personification of peace. He had to urge Musa's successor to sustain his passion for interfaith dialogue to enhance understanding, tolerance, and harmony among Nigeria's diverse religious groups. Medical workers under the umbrella of the Allied Health Professionals with the Federal Medical Center Wari have thwarted the privatization of some sections of the facility by management. The workers, whose intention is to stop the management from going further, took to the street in protest. A correspondent Ajibade offers a report.
According to the Allied workers, the proposed public-private partnership has made most of the services of the FMC very expensive, a situation where the patients or their families have to pay exorbitant bills is not the best for the people of Imo.
We all know that privatization is a policy the federal government came up with to improve efficiency, accountability, transparency, where need be. There are documents to this effect. And the truth remains that most of us are not convinced.
Having done with a meeting with some of the selected members who went into the government house to make known their grievances, the chief of staff to the governor responded to their agitations this way.
We will not hesitate to really look into them and also call on the management of the hospital where we see anomalies.
At the medical center, CoreTV News gathered from the management that the whole idea is still on deliberation, and the part the union claim has been privatized is just a test run of the whole process. The management said is to see how it will work, and when done, everyone will be consulted before the actual implementation.
The patients that should bear the testimony, not the union. So like the chairman said, if the patients through their response and patronage are bearing testimony that they are getting value for their money, then it means that we're being fair to the patients.
Whether the PPP comes to be or not, the number one thing on the list should be the masses' well-being to ensure they are not subjected to more difficulties. And in this instance, medical bills that are out of reach of the ordinary Imolite. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
The National Emergency Management Agency on Monday presented relief materials to victims of fire incident that destroyed property in Mbodo community in Alu, Ikwere local government area of Rivers. The NEMA Zone Coordinator South Benjamin Ogena presented the materials to the Rivers Ministry of Special Duties in Port Harcourt. Ogena says the presentation of the materials was to be completed state government's effort in alleviating the sufferings of the community after their houses were destroyed by fire. He urged the community leaders to ensure equitable distribution of the items to the victims. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Special Duties, Ibaniba Briggs Iti, who handed over the materials to the community leaders, urged them not to sell them, but distribute the quality and distribute them equally to the victims. She called on the community to move on with life and get back on their feet to make up for their losses. In his speech, Okachi Odu, a youth leader, commended NEMA and pledged to distribute the materials evenly to the victims. Some of the items presented include bundles of roofing sheets, mattresses, cartons of noodles, detergents, wrappers, beverages, among others. And now no fewer than 30 persons have been confirmed killed in a fresh attack by suspected Fulani herdsmen in two villages in Barikin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. The killings was discovered on Monday in Vat and Zakupang villages of Voron district, where the Minister of Water Resources Sarah Ochepa hails from. Among the dead was said to be a pastor identified as Luka Gwon, who was working with the Church of Christ in Nations. The Taro people of Langtan have condemned the attacks of their community that has left more than 39 people dead. They describe the attacks as conspiracy against the Taro people. Secretary General of Ngwan Ishi Otaro, Nasiru Nabdu, described the act as genocide against the Taro people. Chairman of the Barikin Ladi local government area, Emmanuel Lomang, while confirming the killings to journalists in Jos, said the suspected Fulani attackers killed 17 people, including women and Vat village in the early hours of Monday, while 13 others were killed at Zakupang village, all of foreign district of Barikin Ladi, local government of the state. Loman will condemn the attack, blame security agencies for not protecting the lives of the citizens of the local government. He also decried the incessant attacks in the locality and challenged the security agencies, especially the STF, to take action towards arresting the attackers. An inmate of the Central Prison in Benin has allegedly escaped from the headquarters of the Edo State Prison Service, the state capital. It was gathered that the inmate, in company with a prison guard, escaped while being taken to the prison headquarters for Monday morning assignment before he took to his heels. Eyewitnesses say the fleeing inmate would only shots before he escaped, running through the popular Benin Moat at the back of the prison headquarters. They added that the prison official, who had been mandated to guard the inmate while he was working, had claimed to have gone to eat when the incident occurred. It was also learned that a search party had been organized to help arrest the fugitive, as officials of the prison service frantically combed the Benin Moat and adjoining street for the inmate. Effort to reach the state comptroller of Benin prisons, Efion Otowa, for official comment were unsuccessful. But a top official, on condition of not being identified, however, told correspondent that the MPAs had yet to receive an official report on the incident. And now, the driver of the bullion van that ran over and killed a motorcycle rider in Abeokuta, the state capital, on Thursday last week, has been arraigned before Abeokuta Chief Magistrate Court. The accused, who is a first-generation commercial bank's driver, Abayomi Komolafe, has been charged with reckless driving and causing the death of a man. Police Inspector Sunday Eigbejali, who is also a prosecutor, told the court that the accused committed the alleged offense on April 30, 2015 at about 10:30 p.m. at Opik Roundabout in Abeokuta. According to the charge sheet, the accused drove a Mercedes-Benz bullion van with registration number PF281 in a reckless and dangerous manner and caused the death of a 19-year-old man, Benga Okishola. The accused also drove without possessing all necessary documents, including driver's and vehicle license, insurance, and road worthiness certificate. Meanwhile, the Ogun State government has condemned this grievous act and warned all drivers of all bullion vans to tread carefully. You've been watching CoreTV Primetime News live from our Lagos studio. We'll take another break now. We'll be back with business, sport, and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
And I'm in business now. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation on Monday announced it will resume its search for crude oil in the Chad Basin. The corporation stated that its resolve to resume oil search in the area was due to remarkable improvement in the level of security in Nigeria's northeast. The group general manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Ohia Legbe, on behalf of the group managing director, Joseph Daha, disclosed this in Abuja during the 21st annual general meeting of Integrated Data Services Nigeria Limited. The GMD NNPC Doha regretted that the corporation had to suspend its oil exploration activities in the Chad Basin due to the security situation in the region, describing the development as unfortunate. IDSL is the subsidiary of the NNPC carrying out seismic data acquisition in the Chad Basin. Now, the federal government's newly launched National Automotive Reposition Portal has availed the needed data for investors in core areas of the auto policy. The Automotive Repository Portal is an effective and sustainable system that keeps information on vehicle identification number of vehicles manufactured and imported into Nigeria. The system, it says, further maintains a database of stakeholders such as car manufacturers. It also provides the government with statistical and intelligence report for effective decisions in policy. And now Facebook Incorporation has opened its internet.org platform to new website and applications from developers on Monday, a social media that will boost efforts to get people online with low income and emerging markets. However, the decision drew criticism from some online activists in India who expressed concern over Facebook control over all data assessed on the service and said it violated the principles of an open web. But a number of e-commerce firms and constant developers pulled out of the service after activists claimed it violated principles of neutrality. Internet.org offers free access via mobile phones to down web service focus on job listing, agricultural information, healthcare, and education, as well as Facebook's own social network and messaging services. It has been launched in 9 countries in Africa, Latin America, Asia, and including India, bringing over 8 million people online. The platform will be open to all developers who meet certain guidelines with no payment either to or from the developers, including that they produce content that can be browsed on both basic mobile phones as well as smartphones and is accessible in limited bandwidth situations, according to Facebook. Well, enough. Let's now join Sabena Izoko for Stock Market Report.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report.
Hello there and welcome to the Stock Market Report segment with me, Sabena Izuku. The equities market on the floor, the Nigerian Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today, as the Nigerian All Shares Index depreciated by 0.17% to close at 34,649.38 basis points. The market capitalization declined to close at 11.76 trillion naira. In all, a total volume of 324.48 million units of shares valued at 6.4 billion naira were exchanged in 4,845 deals. And on the gainer side, Seplat Oil topped the chart, to follow by Okomo Oil, Nigerian Breweries, PZ Carson, and Owando Oil. On the flip side, Total topped the chart, followed by Dangote Cement, United Africa Company of Nigeria, Glasgow Smith Climb, and 40 Oil. And on the top trade side, United Bank for Africa topped the chart, followed by Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and Transcorp, followed by First Bank Nigerian Holdings. Just before we wrap up the stock market report, here's the currency trade for today. I am Savannah Isoko.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report.
Thank you, Sabena Izoku. In sports now, President Sepp Blatter has revealed that Nigeria is very important country in world football for always striving to qualify for all FIFA organized competitions. Blatter disclosed this to Nigerian Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick during a meeting on Monday at the FIFA headquarters in Zurich, which was in line with NFF administration vision of constantly budding with the body and also to seek more FIFA projects for the country. He commended the passion and drive of the new NFF body, revealing his delight with their new thinking and dynamism. Pinnick will hold a meeting with Greg Dyke, chairman of English Football Association, in London on Tuesday. Now, Super Falcons coach Edwin Okun has assured that his girls are ready to take on Mali when they meet this weekend in an Olympic qualifier. Okun, who was said the team has been working night and day to perfect their strategies, disclosed that the energy was strong and that the team were mentally ready to beat Mali again. Similarly, assistant coach of the team, Justin Madugu, added that Falcons were not going to leave anything to chance and are working on every department of the team. The first leg of the encounter is scheduled for May 9 at the Abuja National Stadium. And now, Brit Team Andy Murray has won his first clay court title with a 7-6, 7-4, 5-6, 7-6 victory over German Philipp in the Munich Open final. It was the 32nd arc title of the Scott's career as he prepares for the French Open at the end of the month. In a rain-interrupted match, the top seed needed just over 3 hours to beat the world number 24 Murray, who became the first Briton to win an ATP-ranked event on clay since Buster Montran in Palma in April 1976. And Prince Ali bin Al Hussein will consider withdrawing from the FIFA presidential election to allow a single candidate to challenge Sepp Blatter. The Jordanian is currently standing against Blatter, Michael van Braak of Netherlands, FA, and former Portugal international Luis Figo. 78-year-old Blatter is seeking a FIFA term as FIFA president with 209 members of associations set to vote in the election on May 9. And now the authority have identified a suspected gunman who attacked an event in Dallas exhibiting cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. Officials have named them as Altin Simpson and Nadal Sofi. According to the New York Times and the Washington Post newspapers, the event was organized by the American Freedom Defense Initiative, which is run by controversial blogger and activist Pamela Geller. One of the keynote speakers was the Dutch politician Geert Wilders, an outspoken critic of Islam in Western societies. The conference included a contest that offered a $10,000 prize for a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. Depictions of the Prophet Muhammad are offensive to many Muslims. Agents were searching an apartment in Phoenix, Arizona, where Simpson reportedly lived. Simpson had been previously investigated on suspicions of terrorism offenses. Several reports said officials believe that Simpson sent several Twitter messages before the Sunday shooting, including one with the hashtag Texas attack, part of which read, "May Allah accept us as Mujahideen, holy fighters." According to him, the Twitter account was later suspended. Simpson was convicted severally years ago for lying to authorities about his plans to travel to Somalia. Court documents show the FBI's John Lanarelli told U.S. media that both suspects appeared to have lived in the same Phoenix apartment, although this has not been officially confirmed. Of course, that's it on Primetime News. Just before we go, a recap of our major headlines. We told you that Enugu State House of Assembly has commenced an impeachment process against State Governor Sullivan Chime. We also reported that the Nigeria Union of Journalists has reminded governmental and non-governmental organizations of the need to respect freedom of the press. And finally tonight, oil marketers have assured Nigerians that the lingering fuel shortage across the country will soon be over. And that's it tonight. Many thanks for being part of it. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Frank Omalape. See you again.